Very good morning to everybody who's joining us for the Hello Kolkata podcast, Kolkata Calling Podcast Series. We are back with another episode on Sunday, and I know Sunday is usually off for everybody, but we have very special guests who kindly agreed to join us. Weekdays we don't want to do the podcast because everybody's busy with their work, so we thought Sunday is probably the best time to do it. But if you have suggestions on the timings, we are open to feedback and open to moving around the schedule as well. We would want more people to join us on the podcast, either live or listening to it recorded later. Uh, Now, I think for members of the Kolkata Calling community, most of you would know why we started doing this podcast, essentially to bring people from different fields who are involved with the Kolkata ecosystem as a whole, and in their own fields, they are doing some amazing work for the city, for the state, and we wanted to build a platform where we are able to showcase the good work that they are doing. That's the primary idea behind the Hello Kolkata podcast. And we also get to learn a little about them, their journey, what is their vision and aspiration for Kolkata, and how are they bringing those changes. So today we have a very special community podcast. A couple of weeks back, we started this with another community from Kolkata, which is the Kolkata IT Hub. We had the entire team join us from Kolkata IT Hub, and we did a community podcast. We had Moinak from our side join as well, along with me. And today we have a very special community podcast with three other communities, right? And these are all global tech communities, and we have the leads from specifically the Kolkata chapter, and we will be talking to them today. So we have today SAP, we have AWS, and we have Google. So they are called by different names: GDG, AUG, and SAP Inside Track from Kolkata. So we'll introduce the leads who are joining us. Unfortunately, from Atlassian, we had Soumen sir, who was supposed to join, but due to a personal emergency, he couldn't make it. But we have three leads who I'll be bringing in shortly. Now, before I go into the podcast, we have a very humble request to all our viewers and listeners. Please do go ahead and subscribe to our Kolkata Calling channel on YouTube. With your love and support, we have crossed 100 subscribers, and we would love to grow that channel as well. You can find our podcast not just on LinkedIn, but also on YouTube and Twitter Live. And if you're into Spotify or Amazon Music, you can find the recorded uh, conversations from the podcast on those channels as well. A very quick update. We had some great news coming from Kolkata, Bengal last week, and Moinak will soon be publishing the newsletter, and you will get to read all about those great news, whether it's Wow Momo securing a new funding, whether it's about Ramakrishna Forgings inking a deal with Tesla, whether it's ITC Infotech, subsidiary of ITC of Kolkata, uh, acquiring Blaze Clan, or whether it's defense startup Hornet setting up office. Multiple, great news, and it's great to see the energy in the ecosystem, and that what we always say that nothing ever happens in Kolkata. I think that perception will gradually start to change. And to change that, we have our guests today. So I will introduce and add them all one by one. We have Moumita and Arghadip from SAP Inside Track Kolkata. We have Nasirul Haq from GDG, and we have Ankit Gupta from Amazon User Group. So let me add Moumita, Arghadip, Nasirul, and Ankit. Welcome, 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 everybody. Am I audible to everybody? Is everybody comfortable? And then we can get started. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Moumita, Ankit, Nasirul, uh, Arghadip, can you just say something just to ensure that we have your audio as well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes,
Namaskar,
hi.
Kolkata.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I know it's Sunday, but we apologize for taking up time from your Sunday, from your family and friends. But great to have all of you. And I think as leads of these Kolkata chapters of these tech communities, you're doing great work, and we will sort of explore that. But before we get into the wonderful work that all of you are doing, একটু তোমাদের ব্যাপারে যদি আমি মানে জানতে চাই যে a little bit about your current roles, your little bit about your background, and how you came to be associated with these communities. So maybe we can start with Moumita. Go ahead.
Thank you, Subit, for giving us this platform to have all the community together. So I started my career as a SAP BI person. Then I started slowly exploring AI and sustainability part. And part of the community, I prefer to call myself just a volunteer because in community we don't have really any hierarchy. We all are equal. So I have my senior Orguda in the call as well. So whoever is really having the prominent and significant contribution in the community, we are just requesting them to join us and to promote the knowledge, because at the end of the day, we have two motto in the community, which is knowledge and networking. So networking without knowledge will not add any value. So you need to increase your potential as a technical or functional, techno-functional business person, and then
Mhm.
we all are there to handhold and support each other. And the journey has been a roller coaster ride. I have learned a lot, and I have. I mean, I can see my learning curve as a professional and personal front, and I'm really thankful to my seniors who are here, and peer levels and juniors, and they are very talented. If you see this young blood, no, so you will
Mhm.
realize that they are so advanced, and I get to learn from them every day. And from the seniors I get to learn how to pause and breathe and then start again. So it's
Hmm.
an amazing journey. So anyone who wants to start, who want to join, are very welcome, and we are continuously learning. You never know what we will learn from some other person, right? And for me, I will always say that I'm just a volunteer. Tomorrow, someone else can come from SAP Community Kolkata. They can also share a lot of their stories and the learning journey. So that would be amazing to have. I mean, all the people rotation wise to promote the community and knowledge. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So we'll talk about SAP first, then Arghadip, if you can share a little bit about yourself as well, what you're doing, and about
Yeah,
the community.
yeah. I have like 18 to 19 years experience in SAP. I've mostly stayed across the globe, so mostly in US and other places. So there we used to have an event which is called Sapphire, which we show innovation and all those things. So recently, like 2 years ago, I moved to Calcutta for good,
Hmm.
and then I was missing this event. And then once Moumita came from Cloud 21 and said, "Hey, there is an event that we are going to organize," and I jumped
Hmm.
into it. Last year I couldn't work on it, but this year I'm luckily here, and it's an event I think where everyone has something to share, and
Hmm.
it's a networking event. Plus, we are sharing a lot of knowledge. And truly speaking, the world is changing every minute, every seconds we see. So there are
Hmm.
technologies that are getting launched and getting scrapped in the same time.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we have to know something. We cannot just say I'm an SAP expert, I know this. It doesn't happen, because you cannot be an expert, because things are changing every day. So
Hmm.
as a professional, you need to know a lot, and you need to share your knowledge, because there are lots
Hmm.
of people who say, if I share my knowledge, what's the skill set you are? So imagine those are the people who are pretty novice, or pretty ignorant. So we want, and sometimes all those people will also probably join them, and they sometimes, when we give an idea, they give 10 different ideas. They say, oh, you can do like this and that. So that's the greatest thing about knowledge sharing. It's just like it's like an epidemic. It's a good epidemic that spreads, and you gain lots of knowledge and lots of things. And it's something that also is very important for the young generation, because you have been working, but what they will do, they are coming from a fresher background and all those things. And this time I saw the campusing in some of the big universities like IITs and all those things. They were scrapping for jobs. So this is something that is there for the community. We are doing for the community as well as ourselves. And there will
Hmm.
be sometimes and someday we have a dream that it would be as big as a sapphire event, where you will have like thousands and thousands of real companies, like businesses,
Hmm.
coming
Hmm.
to see our what we are offering. So that would be a great thing, and it's a great thing for Calcutta. Calcutta, we are a
Sure.
little laid back people, and we need
Yeah.
to just pull up socks and show what we are made of. And
Hmm.
we can say, we like music and other things, but we also do our stuff. So that's
Yeah.
another thing. And also we want to bring in all the people from SAP who, and eventually they started all from Calcutta. You can see the big people, but they
Yeah.
moved out due to some political reason or something. I don't want to say, but they need to come back and showcase that now, we are back, the homecoming, and let's do our bit. So it's something that
Wonderful.
we are excited to do.
Wonderful, Arghadip, and great to know, your journey as well and your
Yeah.
experience. And we are very lucky to have you back in
Thank
Kolkata,
you.
helping build this community. And
Yeah, yeah.
obviously,
Thank you. Thank you.
uh, we definitely hope and wish that the communities here can grow. I'll come next to Ankit. Ankit is leading the Kolkata chapter for Amazon user groups. Ankit, welcome to the podcast. If you can share a little bit about your journey and your community as well, and then we'll go into
Sure,
deeper into other questions.
sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here. My name is Ankit, and I'm from computer science background. It's been 10 years on AWS cloud. So I have been contributing to the community since last 10 years, right, in various part of India. And last 6 years, I am helping to build the Kolkata community. One of the things which I love about the community, it's a platform where you learn, network, and grow, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how I have seen it. And the community is like a second home for me, right? Where the people are coming with their different
Mm.
companies, different cultures, right? With a one thing in a mind that we need to share, and that's the culture, is the giving backwards, right? So you
Yeah.
share your knowledge, right? So community is giving a platform to everyone where they can exchange the knowledge, right? They can learn from each other, right? They can come into the mentorship program, right?
Okay.
Or they can do some cool projects together. As I heard from
Mm.
some of my colleagues, right? As every day the tech industry is changing, right? So if you look at our AWS cloud also, every week they are
Mm.
coming up with a new feature, new innovations, which is either
Mm.
impacting the security, reliability, high availability of the
Mm-hmm.
customer landscape. So it's very important to stay up to date, right? And that's where the community is playing very vital role. It could be with the
Mm.
certification, it could be the getting a next job, or it could be the helping the customer with the new solutions. The community is playing a very vital role. I'm very happy to see the way Kolkata is growing and everyone is coming together, as part of the community to solve the different problems and helping each other.
Wonderful. No, thank you, Ankit, and thank you for the work that you're doing for 6 years with the Kolkata Amazon user group community, and more power to you. I'll quickly come to Nasirul. Nasirul is joining us from Google Developer Groups Cloud Kolkata, Cloud Kolkata. Nasirul would love to hear a little bit about your journey as well and the GDG community as well.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So, thank you for joining us on a Sunday. So, GDG basically stands for Google Developer Groups. So, we are like a group of developers who take initiatives to like put forth our learnings, what we have like learned till date, to the other fellow members who may or may not have like learned those areas. So suppose if we have like some area expertise, so we tend to like bring that expertise and those knowledge to other fellow attendees and like the fellow members of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have mentioned, like Google Developer Group Cloud Kolkata. So we have similar chapters all across India and the world. So
Mm-hmm.
each of the cities, they usually have their own chapter. One is associated with the Google Cloud, and one is a generic community. So that will not have the cloud in the name. So the main like focus where we put is to educate the attendees based on the latest offerings from Google or any open source technologies or the development in the tech field,
Mm-hmm.
specifically in the software area and sometimes the hardware also as per requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And we host events every month, and mostly it's attended by the college students. So whatever they miss out in college, or they want to have a better industry experience, they join us in these events. We have like
Mm.
speakers from all across India. Mainly we try to bring in speakers and experts from Kolkata to have more exposure, and then to have more detailings on these developments in this technology, and then how the world of tech is changing every day, and how we can adapt to it. Then what different types of products you can build, make, and then showcase to the world, or grow your business around it. So these are the main areas of focus which we have. And we rebooted after the COVID. So from COVID till now, we are going very good. We are 10,000 strong now.
Wow.
And we just promote these softwares for all the community members. So that was from my side. Thank you.
Wonderful. No, great to have you, Nasirul, amidst us as well. And probably the next question, I'll start with you and we'll go around the room one by one. So,
Mhm.
all of you are part of a different community, right? You have a different technology, a different, I would say, multinational who has, created wonders in this field, whether it's AWS, SAP, or Google. Uh, what is the collaboration between these communities within Kolkata? So I know Moumita invited us to come together, but in terms of communities which are very specific to, let's say, one kind of company or one product or multiple products under the same umbrella, but there are different communities. How do you sort of collaborate, and what is that level of collaboration that is existing in Kolkata today? Anybody, like, I can give Nasirul, we can start with, or Moumita, you can start.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. So
Yeah.
since we are affiliated with Google kind of thing, so actually we don't get direct sponsorship or something, but we get offers in terms of credits, cloud credits, or some kind of like early accesses which we can share, and then you can go around. So
Hmm.
mostly what we do, if we are collaborating with different communities, so we try to come to a common ground where it will benefit both the communities. And since if we are talking about any of the open source applications, so those are all welcome in our community. We don't have any barrier on that. But if we have some conflicting applications or some
Mhm.
conflicting products, we try to have the better flavor in which where we describe both of them as per the partnership terms, and then we try to come to a common ground so that it benefits
Yeah.
both of us.
Yeah, and not to start a fight here, but I mean, at
Yes.
least being non-technical, I know that AWS has its huge cloud offering, Google has its huge cloud
Yes.
offering. So how is that community interaction happening between Ankit and Nasirul on the community front?
Okay,
Because
so till now, we started from 2021, but
mm,
till now we didn't have a direct collaboration with any of our sister offering communities like Azure or AWS. But if we
mm,
are looking to have that collaboration, then we can definitely come to a common ground where we can discuss the benefits of both the offerings from both the companies. So
mm,
as we all know, if we get similar products across multiple companies, they don't always cater to the same list of benefits.
sure.
In some cases, AWS might be better than GCP. In some cases, GCP might be better than AWS. So it's all
Mm,
about what you want to build, how you want to build, and which one suits your needs.
mm.
So we can both have a healthy competition here to give a better offering, and then in that case we will be improving both the cloud offerings simultaneously without harming each other.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ankit, would you respond to that also?
So if you look at it with respect to AWS Users Group Kolkata, we are very open when it comes to learning, right? So I've been
Mm,
speaking with Moumita to collaborate with SAP, how we can share SAP on AWS knowledge. And even in the last year, during
mm,
SAP event, we have given the session also. Today only at
mm.
1 p.m. We are doing session with Haldia Institute of Engineering and Technology. There we are
Wonderful.
collaborating with their club. So we are very open with respect to collaborating with the different technical clubs. in
Mm-hmm.
engineering colleges or the different communities offering a different products. So whenever it comes to learning, right, we are very much okay to give the platform to the community members where they can learn, they can share the knowledge, and even they can build their network.
Wonderful, wonderful. Arghadip, from your side, you also been back to Kolkata for a couple of years. How have you seen, whether it's the inside track and the other communities, how have you seen collaboration from your lens?
So mostly on the collaboration side means we tend to create blogs and all those things, and
Hmm.
there are certain blogs that are preferred, that are sent to Kolkata location first, so that they
Hmm.
get a sneak peek. And then now the collaboration with different communities like AWS and Google, now it has changed from, going from the, to be honest, from the infrastructure. Now it has
Hmm.
gone to the platform side where we are using AI, and we are
Hmm.
talking with Microsoft. You have the AI from, like, currently I'm working with stuffs with Google Bard and others, Gemini, and
Hmm.
then we have the things from Microsoft AI. So we are also connecting with both these type of technologies, and we
Hmm.
expect at some point of time, is still it's very early, it's very early,
Hmm.
but eventually we will expect it to move it to the colleges and other places, so that they, to be honest, they have the open brain. We are already biased with something SAP or something, but they have the open brain, and they look at as an open book where they can write anything and everything. So
Hmm.
there it would be a different exposure that we are, and probably in the coming months we are going to push it there and see what they can come up with.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Moumita, I'm coming to you last because you also been a very active member in bringing these communities together, and also, facilitating this podcast episode. Would love to hear from you. How have you seen these communities grow side by side together?
So, right, we have been, especially with you, I have been discussing this from last year or even before that we need to bring all the communities together. We want to have
Hmm.
healthy competition, like Nazirul has mentioned, and we should do the hand holding, and that is one of the vision and mission we had, that
Hmm.
if you want to cover the long journey, then you need to do the hand holding, which is very important. Just
Hmm.
imagine a person like me who started 10 years back in SAP, and a person who wants to start now. We both are exploring SAP's AI tool, which is called Joule. So
Hmm.
the fresh brain, he is coming with lot of energy, enthusiasm, and I'm coming with some experience. So we want to club this too and see that how exactly we can produce the best knowledge out of it. So in
Hmm.
our community, there is few things. We really don't maintain any hierarchy, so we tell, if you want to come forward, start writing the blogs, start engaging yourself where people would recognize you. You don't have to tell that you are contributing, but people would recognize that, okay, this person has contributed out of the first hot topic, she
Hmm.
or he has contributed to 3 to 4 topic, and then the pass on the knowledge to the next one. So if I
Hmm.
take one small example, we had one use case and we are not able to make any, I mean, outcome out of it. So since we had the community connect, we reached out to Ankit and we reached out to AWS community, and we put, do you have any expertise out of your community?
Hmm.
Because community is not a business model, it's a
Hmm.
charitable knowledge platform, and
Hmm.
this platform gives you the maximum potential to enhance knowledge. Another
Hmm.
example is, we have multiple queries on SAP VIM, and it is one of the niche area what
Hmm.
Arghadip is working on. So a kid or a mid-level experience who is working on this, he or she will know, okay, we have one knowledgeable person in the community, so we need to request his time and get a knowledge sharing session. And if you look, actually we have SAP authors who has written multiple books, SAP bloggers who are who received a blogger badge from SAP community, Germany itself, for their contribution. Then there are people who are organizing this. We would be having another chapter of this event. And the good thing about Kolkata is we are very brain rich. The gray matter is very thick over here, and also since we have lot of brains, so we will be having the confliction. So we need to absorb the heat, and we need to come forward, and we need to do hand holding, because we want people to know about Kolkata community with respect to its knowledge base. And anyone whoever I mean, let's say a person who is based out of Germany, but someone who has written a blog based out of Kolkata would be helpful for that person. So it is uh,
Right.
people who are physically present here or occasionally present here, but they belong or they represent Kolkata to a
Hmm.
worldwide platform. Or for me, if you remember long back, like 7 8 years ago, Facebook
Hmm.
developer group was very popular in Kolkata. That
Hmm.
time we had a lot of energy to do coding, and
Hmm.
all. From there we started, and then we slowly saw, okay, to compete the Facebook developer group, our GDG group is very active. Then we came to know, okay, we have AWS group, and Azure group is also ramping up, because they
Hmm.
don't want to leave behind. And
Yeah.
that is the beauty of this community collaboration, that you inspire each other and you help each other to come forward. And
Hmm.
Soumen, the unfortunately we could not have him today,
Hmm.
so we were having discussion that we need to represent one cloud ALM and Jira integration use case, because if you
Hmm.
are working in SAP, then you know SAP Solman is going to sunset, and there is
Hmm.
this Jira tool of Atlassian community, which
Hmm.
is very popular for our
Yeah.
project management and deliverable, and we have beautiful use cases. So how do I know all of this? Because I get to learn from all the people who are SMEs in this sector. So since
Hmm.
I am learning, I want everyone to learn and take the leverage of the community to reach out to this knowledgeable SMEs, so that they can also enhance the knowledge. Tomorrow, I would be very proud the people who are organizing our event and helping the successful
Hmm.
uh, execution of the event. If they write more blogs than me, if they contribute more than me, that time I'll feel that my contribution is successful, that the kids or the seniors who were
Sure.
sitting and watching us, they are also contributing. So it's not that someone needs to be in the front line, it's that everybody needs to come together in the front line. That's how we build the
Hmm.
famous wall of China, right? Big
Hmm.
brick by brick, one by one. So that's the knowledge build up we want to have. And it was
Hmm.
my dream, but dream without hand holding, execution, inspiration is nothing. So thank you, Subid, you started
No.
helping me on this. And then everyone came together. I reached out to the Jyoti
Yeah.
has helped me on the schedule, and then Ankit. Then we have another team member, Aslim Da. So Aslim Da is also very senior in our community. He actually connected us with Google Developer Group. So there are people who are helping.
Yeah.
So we feel very blessed, and we have our improvement areas. We are open to feedback, and we would love to get more feedback on the topic, session, execution, or
Hmm.
the collaboration, so that we can do better with respect to knowledge. Again, this is a charitable model, so we would
Yeah.
always need to support. Thank you.
Sure. Sure. No, thank you for sharing that, Moumita. And flowing with the idea behind knowledge sharing, bringing more people into the fold. Ankit, you mentioned that आप लोग एक हल्दिया में you're doing a session for students. So you have people from the industry with lots of experience, and you are also going to colleges either physically or virtually, let's say. And since we're talking Kolkata, in Kolkata, around Kolkata, uh, what is it that the value that you bring to the students who are, let's say, in their third year, fourth year of their engineering? I don't know if it's open to everybody, but specific to engineering. What is the value that these communities and their SMEs leads can bring to these students? And we can go around the room to see if there are more of these events that are planned through GDG, through SAP, through AWS. So maybe Ankit, we can start with you.
Sure. So for students, what we try to do, we try to bridge the gap between industry and academics, because if you look at out the
Hmm.
syllabus which they are going through, right, so those are not up to date what we are, you know,
True.
seeing day-to-day basis in our IT work. So we try to
Hmm.
bridge the gaps. They might know Java or they might know Python, right? But
Hmm.
they don't know how to use this for AI projects or ML projects, right? So whenever we go
Hmm.
there, right, we try
Hmm.
to address three things. Number one, we try to correlate the things. If they are learning Python, how Python can be used for machine learning based projects, for OCR, or for
Hmm.
sentiment analytics, or for generative AI use cases, right? So we
Hmm.
try to correlate the learnings which they are doing. If they're learning C++,
Hmm.
we try to correlate how this can be used for game development. Second thing which we try to do is we try to show them how you can build a career on cloud. What are the different kind of job roles are available in the market, be it for
Hmm.
cloud engineer, or be it for DevOps engineer, or be it for cloud developer. After
Hmm.
passing the BTech, which role they can start and what is the prerequisite for that role, right? If you're good in programming, then you can go for a cloud developer role, or if you're good in
Hmm.
scripting or the operating system, then you can go for a cloud engineer role. So we try to guide them as a trusted advisor, because we have been gone through the same journey. The third important thing is about the job opportunities, because they are very
Hmm.
curious to know about, I'm doing
Sure.
XYZ, you know, what the market looks like, right? Or
Hmm.
what are the different companies who are hiring for this opportunity. So we try to give them some data points, right? What is the demand of the cloud market, right? And within cloud also, data or AI or ML, how these techs are booming and how companies are looking for the resources,
Hmm.
right, who are ready for the
Hmm.
industry. The companies or industries are looking for the people who know something, and if they have done some minor or major kind of projects in college, right, they give a
Hmm.
preference to them. So we try to highlight these things to the students so that they should be prepared for the industry.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll come to Arghadip here. So, Arghadip, it is not always, and just taking Ankit's point that if you are a student who, is interested in SAP, AWS, Google, you only have to work for these companies, because these solutions are used across the industry for any organization, right? They will use SAP, they will use AWS, they will use Google. So when it comes to careers, and I know in the last couple of years, overall, there has been a little bit of a slowdown in global tech hiring. There have been rationalization, optimization. When you are, you know, and taking Ankit's example, that when you are telling students that, hey, you have this fantastic career, how do you bridge the gap between helping them get job ready? Because you can be an SAP professional in working in SAP, or you can be an SAP professional for any company which uses services, products of SAP. So how do you help, freshers, youngsters bridge that gap of taking that learning and start working in that field?
Yeah, so to be honest, means I have been speaking with all these universities.
Hmm.
So I think it's high time now, to revamp all their old days of teaching engineering. Like, you're a computer
Hmm.
science background student, you don't need to
Hmm.
know engineering drawing, you don't need to know workshops and all those things. Let's be honest,
Hmm.
why? I've
Hmm.
never means I've been an IT engineer, I have done workshops. Instead of just burning my sweat out and doing some
Hmm.
sauna bath there, I
Hmm.
didn't learn nothing, to be honest.
Hmm.
So instead of doing that, we should need to teach all this technology that is going to be important in their real life, right?
Hmm.
So I have students who has asked for help, and they were in their third and fourth year, and trust me, they got internship and they were working like part time and all those things. By the time when they were passed out engineers, they had
Hmm.
like 1 to 2 years of real SAP experience, and they got
Hmm.
hired right away. There was no
Yeah.
question. So why we are wasting on something, that giving them work or doing something that will not
Hmm.
even benefit them? And trust me, these universities and all those things, they're charging an arm and leg, they're charging a lot of money, right? And
Hmm.
what the parents are paying for just to learn, let's be honest, C++, hardly no one every anyone uses it now. Let's push them to something which is really beneficial, so that all these big companies, they get ready made students. Nowadays no one wants to, let's be honest, freshers they don't want to hire, because they have to train them and all those things.
Hmm.
What if they are
Hmm.
already trained, they are using, and they can
Yeah.
kickstart their career right away. So that's
Hmm.
something that I always try to tell the universities and all those. Plus
Hmm.
I have a bunch of, there are lots of SP influencers who have their own YouTube channels, blogs, and all those
Hmm.
things that is up there for grab for free. So to be honest, they are not so much entertaining like a person who is probably making a food or showing
Yeah.
reels and all those
Sure.
things. Probably we have to
Yeah.
build something based on reels, but
Yeah.
it works, it helps them. So
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
things that we have to try to be honest, we have to try to understand this present generation who
Hmm.
are a little different than what we were, and
Sure.
chime with them and build something that is conducive for them, and it will help ourselves only, because that's our future, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's something we should be giving, because at one point of time when we were fresher, we knew how difficult it was to get a job, right? So the
Yeah.
same thing happens now also, right? And it's worse now. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that we can do. And probably, and again, if you are teaching something in the university, we have enough professional in the world, they can go
Hmm.
and teach, take their spare
Yeah.
time. Don't, means, with all due respect to all the professors, they don't know the industry, okay? So
Hmm.
let's not te- ask the universities teach SAP, rather than
Let
Moumita or
industry
me, or
experts. Yeah.
yeah, they can spare some time and they can teach what is there in the real thing.
Hmm.
That would be more
Very valid
beneficial.
point. And
Yeah.
taking this point, this industry academia partnership, I know that from, and I'll come to Nasirul with this question first. A lot of these industry academia partnerships are happening. So I used to work with Coursera at one point of time, and we saw these, certifications, projects, capstone projects coming from, let's say, whether you're doing a Google GCP certification, whether doing an AWS certification, you're doing an SAP certification, through partnerships with some universities or even standalone. These kind of industry ready courses and certifications have, come through various platforms available to students. How important is it for, I mean, not just experienced professionals who want to continue to upskill their game, but even for, students who are in the third and fourth year, as Arghadip mentioned, to, do these certifications, do those projects, do those internships, specifically from a Google Cloud lens. How do you see that, Nasiru?
Okay, that's a very valid question. So, as like industry professionals, we also need to upskill ourselves as the world of technology like changes almost every day. And
Hmm.
from a student's point of view, like 6 years back when I was a student, so I also had that query like going to the industry, industry, what should I be working on, or like what is available to work on, whether it aligns to my like my wanting, like what I want to
Hmm.
do, whether that's relevant in the industry or not. So these certifications and courses, they help us to bring down that huge leap, bridge that gap which we have between the industry and academia. Suppose
Hmm.
like Ankit mentioned, we know Java, we know Python
Hmm.
as a student, but we don't know how to apply those languages in the real life applications which we are using. So there's a huge gap there. So I know how to code in Java, I know how to code in Python, but when I come to building some product, maybe suppose sometime back when Android was not there, applications for mobiles were built in Java. So we
Hmm.
knew Java, but we didn't know how to make an application, or like
Hmm.
what are the checklists for building an application, or what are the checklists for building a good application.
Hmm.
So now also if you see, we have lot of applications across the App Store and Play Store, but when we
Hmm.
go to see, some of the applications are a legit copy of each other, but there will
Hmm.
be one application which will always stand out from the others. So if we get for a very simple game like a temple run game, we have like
Hmm.
thousands of variants for it, but still people will go for the temple run or the Subway Surfer, because that is built using some defined knowledge or some checklist which we already have, and the industry experts which saw that. But if
Hmm.
as a student I go to build that same thing, that flavor will
Yeah.
not come in. So these
Hmm.
certifications, across various things, they may help us understand like what is the difference between just coding and making a product. So
Hmm.
I like, you can be an expert coder, but making a product requires much more knowledge and those things. So these certifications, they help us, like what are the different areas or the different offerings from the companies, and
Hmm.
then how we can utilize those products to help enhance up learning, and then whatever we are building. And those
Hmm.
enhancements are the things which the industry looks out for. So if I
Hmm.
go and tell, like, I have this certification, maybe a
Yeah.
cloud developer architect certification I have, then they can
Yeah.
be sure, okay, this person has went through this course and he knows these key points, so
Yeah.
we can just put him in a cloud developer role directly. We may
Hmm.
not have to re-interview him, or have a very detailed interview to understand that knowledge. So this kind of like adds to the authenticity or the guarantee mark on your career, which helps
Hmm.
to move compared to a faster pace. Yeah, like you can move
Hmm.
compared to the other folks who may not have those certifications but still
Hmm.
possess the knowledge.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
this is like from the certification perspective.
Yeah, yeah. And I think certification, as you rightly said, Nasirul, that certification is essentially a signal that I have,
Yes.
signal to the employer, signal to the job market that I have, completed, this course, I have done this capstone project, I have experience, I can do it live if required. And it's a credential which can be trusted by,
Yes.
employers of that particular skill in that particular role. We were talking specific to freshers taking up these courses, and Arghadip mentioned that today's youngsters, they need to be catered differently to the content has to be available for learning and certification in different way, preferably via mobile app and gamification. But when it comes to experienced folks, and I'll come to Moumita with this question, young people we see have a very high curiosity, they are willing to learn new things, they are willing to explore new things in an industry where tech is evolving very very fast. I think it was Arghadip who mentioned that new techs are getting launched, old techs are getting sunsetted, scrapped out. There is a lot of resistance to change that I have seen in working professionals after they do 5, 10, 15 years to keep themselves relevant. They become very comfortable in what they have been doing for the last few years, not really looking at the horizon on how these techs will change, how their roles may get redundant if they are not continuously doing their certifications, learning. And I think the communities also do that. As a working professional, you spent like 10, 12 years now. From your personal experience, and we'll go to Arghadip and Ankit and Nasirul as well, how have you personally, in your own career, kept evolving with these changing technologies through learning, through certifications? If you can share some of that as well.
Okay, so when I answer that, it would be very evident that I really don't have any work life balance. But that is on to me because I would be working, then I would be reading something. If I don't read, my brain stops working. So I
Hmm.
need to read continuously something, whether it's a news or new article or maybe new subject. So for me, it helped a lot. So I had written a blog on sustainability and how it is clubbing with SAP technologies, and a person who is in very senior role who is setting up his competencies, he reached out and he queried about that. So that's the power of blog and upskilling. I feel
Hmm.
disappointed sometime because few days back I was discussing with one of our community member, and I had suggested that learn AI, and his prompt response was, I don't have project to work on AI, so why should I learn about that? So
Hmm.
we I mean we will have multiple such cases. I mean, if not a personal thing or any unforeseen situation, people by psychology still are not very willing to learn the new things. But we should be open to new things because the knowledge you are promoting, if you consider yourself as an asset for an company, so are
Hmm.
you promoting the company's knowledge? Because at the end of the day, if any company is deciding to come to Kolkata, first thing would be what is my knowledge base, then it would
Hmm.
be the profit center and the cost center, right? So the knowledge base should be the world class level, and we really have world class level author blogger based out of Kolkata. So
Hmm.
the reason I'm saying these things, for me within these years was not possible to learn so many things if it were not so many knowledgeable SMEs who are sharing their blogs and their knowledges on the platform. So another example I would like to share. So when I was trying to get my hands dirty on the Facebook developer and I was not really proceeding on anything, then I wanted to explore more of data science and AI. So DJ was that time in Kolkata and he was helping student pro bono, and our one of the Shoptoshi sir was also here who was helping students pro bono. So I used to attend those classes to get my hands dirty. So
Hmm.
from there, I realized only AI will not sustain. Only being good in business knowledge will not sustain. But clubbing the business and AI and having a robust, keeping the clean core kind of architecture, that would let you go very long time. Because I know there are students who can do the LLM model run within few hours. You will have polish AI model, but they really don't understand the application of it when it comes to the
Hmm.
industry level. And industry
Hmm.
people, they so much of knowledge, if they can extend a little bit longer. I'm not asking to make work life balance unhealthy like me, but if they can extend a little bit, then they would Am I audible? I think some disruption happened.
Yeah, we lost you for last 5 seconds, Moumita, but yeah, go ahead. I think we'll come back to Moumita.
So
Arghadip,
I think I lost.
taking Moumita,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So,
got.
so taking Moumita's point, Arghadip, where we talked about, continuous learning as professionals to stay relevant in this field. Uh, you've been back in Kolkata, you've worked outside everywhere, and now this is probably going to get a little tricky. Uh, we have often heard that there are no good jobs available for Kolkata talent, and hence that talent has to move out. People who have stayed back in Kolkata, they are maybe working, but not at the cutting edge of technology. Maybe they are working on technology which is 5, 10 years behind where the industry is today. Having made the personal decision to come back to Kolkata, and being a part, an active member of this community, which is doing, sharing, learning, knowledge, networking, and growing. Uh, how do you see the Kolkata talent market and their ability to stay relevant with changing technology, both from an experienced professional uh, view as well as youngsters who are coming into the workforce for the first time?
Yeah, I think the greatest thing about nowadays is you don't need to be in a location to learn anything, to be honest.
Sure.
You can
Hmm.
say, oh, I need to go to Bangalore to get a job. Yeah, probably you need to get to Bangalore for a job, but nowadays you can see people working from home and all those things. And I
Hmm.
think if you look at, Jeff Bezos and others, they started from a garage. Okay, right?
Hmm.
Let's be honest. If you have the skill sets and if you have the hunger, the problem with us, with all the technology people, is they lose the hunger. Okay, you
Hmm.
cannot be just complacent and say, oh, I will be happy with this, and this will be my, paycheck for pension. Those days are over. Your
Hmm.
paycheck for pension is every day it's changing, and you need to learn, to be honest.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
there was once a person said to me, and it was a great thing: you can change yourself, okay, or you are being forced to change. Later
Mm-hmm.
on you'll be
Mm-hmm.
forced to change, because if your upskilling is not great, and
Yeah.
you are sitting there and saying, oh, I will not learn some new things and all those things, you're just being
Mm-hmm.
like a whining kid who is saying, oh, I will not study history now suddenly. Let's be honest, when you did you have a choice when you were in school that I will not learn history, and you had to wait for your
Yeah.
dad and mom to beat the heck out of you? So that those
Yeah.
days are over, right? So you need to learn, just learn it and move on. And also I think the important thing is, also, don't go by the like, now the buzzword is all about AI. Last year it was all
Mm-hmm.
blockchain and all those things. Things will come and
Mm-hmm.
go. It's always
Mm-hmm.
good to know. You don't know something, don't just dive into it and start doing things, and then you build something, and that that completely scrap means you need to be aware of it. And also I think networking plays the most important part is, you may not know the thing, but you
Mm-hmm.
know a person who knows it. That's the most important thing about, leadership and all those things. Get things done. You don't need to know everything. You just know
Yeah.
this person who knows this, and he will help you out. That's the most important thing. So you need to
Mm.
be aware, open your ears. You don't need to study all the time, that's it.
Yeah.
But think about it.
Yeah.
And also connect to this younger generation, because they have some crazy questions that makes you think and makes you innovate, you know
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
are, as I said, they're an open book, and they can ask any questions to you which may make you unpleasant or something, but they will ask you questions that can probably innovate a product at some point. And
Mm.
you never know, one day Kolkata invented something that was never invented by anyone.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's the thing important.
Yeah, no, fair. And I'll come to Ankit next on this because Ankit, you've been building this Kolkata chapter for AWS user groups, and you've seen the city landscape evolve, uh, especially when it comes to, let's say, specific to the technology platforms that we are talking about. Um, One is a question that probably a lot of people would have: is it good to be a generalist or a very, very niche specialist? Because why I ask, and again, completely outside the technical background, my 101 question is this: that if you're a generalist, then you are aware of multiple things happening, changing in the industry. You can see correlations, how things can connect together, applications of different technology. But if you're a specialist, and yes, you can be a subject matter expertise, you can have credits and blogs and all of that. But what if that technology changes tomorrow? So from being a professional in this sphere, having grown community, what is it that you see better for people, and maybe specific to Kolkata, a generalist kind of an approach to your career or a very high degree of specialization?
So, what I would suggest here, and even what I see is right. At least you have to be specialized in one area, right? So let's take an
Hmm.
example. If you belong to database, right, you should
Hmm.
know how the database tech industry is changing, right? From
Hmm.
SQL to NoSQL, and now the vector database, right? Similarly, if you are in data warehousing space, right, so you need to understand how the data warehousing space is changing from server to serverless data warehouse. If you are in a data engineering role playing with ETL, you need to
Hmm.
understand how ETL landscape is changing from ETL to now zero ETL is coming up. So one
Hmm.
area you need to be very specialized on it, right? Accordingly you can take ahead your career, right? But
Hmm.
yeah, uh, if you're a DB person, it's not important that you know the GenAI in depth. Yeah, having knowledge of GenAI at a high level will help you, right?
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
the having knowledge of IoT at the high level will help you, the DB persons. But you need to be specialized at your area, right? Because
Hmm.
every area is changing, right? Be the programming, right? So now no one is going to write n number of codes. Now we have an AI tool to generate the codes. The people are
Hmm.
looking for low code, no code platform to
Hmm.
develop the web applications. So everywhere, be the web applications, be it the database, be it the ETL, be it the AI, ML, every stack is changing. So whatever stack you are currently working, right, you have to be
Hmm.
specialized in that area. You have to see how the market is evolving, right? So let's take an
Hmm.
example. If you are a generative AI person, right? So in a generative AI space, every day something is happening, right? So there are different companies who are offering different large language models, right? So you need to be
Hmm.
aware what kind of features or what kind of different version model which they are coming from, what are the different database which they are coming up with, how the
Hmm.
entire orchestration is working using the LangChain, and what are the different use cases which is now possible using generative AI, which can solve your
Hmm.
customers' problems.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So again, a lot of those technical stuff went over my head because I call myself a full stack HR professional. That is the degree of my technical expertise. But coming to Nasirul here, Nasirul, uh, when we speak about these technologies, and this is a very, I would say, silly question that is in newspapers, not maybe in your professional communities. Nobody probably asks this question, but since I am representing the Kolkata community in general, maybe this silly question you can attempt at. With the rise in Gen AI and everything, there is this fear that a lot of coders, developers, jobs will get obsolete. You don't really need coders to code anymore because AI will write codes for you. Uh, how do you see the application of AI hitting even the basic work that a lot of people are doing and are specialized in today? And if it will actually impact their roles, and for them, what is it that they should do to safeguard becoming redundant or obsolete? Because now AI will start automating and doing a lot of things that they was their bread and butter.
Okay, that's a very common question. I'll not say it's
Hmm.
a silly question, but there's a general fear among the technical and the not technical folks that AI will take over and we'll lose our job. So, if
Hmm.
we look back 50, 60 years when the robotic automations came to the assembly lines, so there
Hmm.
were assembly workers who used to like assemble those hardware products, be it a car or any of the products. So they had that fear that once these robots comes, we'll lose our jobs. So they'll do all our jobs. We'll not be able to be relevant in the industry. But if we look at from now our standpoints, so we saw like more than losing jobs, it opened up more jobs,
Hmm.
so more jobs in a different format. So they
Sure.
didn't need people to assemble the parts, but they needed people to assemble those robots, because again
Hmm.
that will not be done on its own. We
Hmm.
needed people to build better robots, better architects of designing those robots and stuff. So it's more like how you adapt to the change. So
Hmm.
it's like suppose I'll say like, okay, this thing is changing, or suppose a river is changing its course and I'll not move my house, then
Hmm.
you will eventually drown. But with the
Yeah.
change of the course, if you move your house, you'll always be alive, you'll be able
Or
to
build a
stay
boat.
there.
Or build a
Yes,
boat. I,
or you build a boat and you
yeah.
go the with the flow of the river. So you have both the options. So if you want to stay relevant in the industry, then you have
Mm.
to accept its change and then adapt accordingly. And
Sure.
as for the AI stake, so AI will take over some of the jobs, but it will open new jobs for you. So
Mm.
like Kit mentioned, nowadays most of the companies, they are coming up with their own LLMs. They need to be trained, they need to be built, they need to be enhanced more. So if you
Mm.
are a Python developer, you know maths, you know stats, you can
Mm.
instead of going into the older models where we used to teach machines, we can come
Mm.
to the AI model. You can enhance
Mm.
your learning. So based on that, you know something, you have to learn something, and then together with that, you can just make yourself the hot cake in the industry. Everyone will
Mm.
go after you. But if I
Mm.
just say like, no, I'll not enhance my learning, or I'll just do like how I was doing 5 years back, so then
Mm.
you'll become an obsolete person. So basically, you just don't be a dinosaur, evolve,
Yeah.
be like a lizard, evolve
Mm.
with the changing era, and then you will survive thousands of years.
Very interesting. No, thanks for sharing that, Nasrul. I'll come to Arghadip and Moumita, and because what I think the theme that has emerged, we did not plan that in advance, but it is that continuous learning, continuous evolving, continuous growing is something that is extremely necessary for professionals in your field, in your community. With that in mind, obviously the communities that you all are representing today is playing a very, very important role in not only helping young students find their place in the industry through mentorship, but also giving, what should I say, knowledge sharing to other working professionals, and having this cross pollination of ideas and what new technology is there or applications of existing technology. With that coming very specific to each of your communities, what are some of the upcoming plans, events? I know SAP Inside Track has a big event coming up on 27th April. So, what are some of these events, announcements, programs that each of these communities are doing to facilitate that networking, knowledge sharing for their members? So, maybe Arghadip, Moumita, you can start first, and then we can go to Ankit and Nasirul.
Yeah, I
Moumita
think
बोलो.
currently, yeah, Moumita, you can, yeah, Moumita, you
ना ना
can
ना
go
ना
ahead.
तुम ही बोलो अमिता पे बोलो.
Okay. Okay, so I think there are lots of there's this lots of events that happens location wise and all those things. I think now SAP has more than probably 10 events per year, and these events are pretty big, and they bring in all the we say the German engineering developers and all the experts from across the globe that comes and share their knowledge and share the sneak peek of the new technology. That's the greatest thing. And if you notice, I think India has a great future. If we
Mm,
notice, uh, uh, if you see the age group, the population density between the age of 25 to 40, currently I think India owns probably 50% of the world population. So
mm,
in the coming years, you can see the whole IT hub of the world moving to India, because we have
mm,
the population and the brains and all those things. And these events is just a start. In a few years, we can proudly have events, Calcutta having like events every month at a
mm,
grand base. And I think and that's the place where not only it will be sharing knowledge, pretty soon it will be the place to showcase your innovation. Okay,
mhm,
that's what happens in Sapphire, where we have all those big vendors. They come with their own products and showcase, hey, look, I can do this, I can do that, and all those things. And with that, your idea starts, and you think, okay, probably I need to upscale, probably, oh, this can be improved, I can buy this
mm,
product, I can use it. So that's the whole goal, right? So I think SAP is having events right and left, and they're sharing their knowledge. And
mm,
the greatest problem of SAP is it's too vast, and it's
mm,
very rare they don't have a solution. But the problem is no one knows how to find that solution. Okay, unless
mm,
they tell or we spend a lot of time. That's a problem with SAP. It is so
mm,
huge, and it's being used by so many different people. And
mm,
so knowledge sharing is very important, because there are very I'm just giving a simple example, it will take probably a minute. There
mhm,
was an issue. I was stuck in 2017, and I was
mm,
sitting in Louisiana in one of the remote places, and I was stuck. And I was googling here and there, and I finally found an answer for that solution.
mm.
Guess what? Who gave the answer? It was me 10 years back. And we are getting older, and the brain is getting wet. And the greatest thing
Sure.
about internet, this
Mm.
stores all the data, right? So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
thing. If you need to share your knowledge, it will benefit you
mm,
only at some point
yeah.
of time. So those are
Wonderful.
things that we should be taking it in an honest approach and move on with SAP. Now over to
Mm.
Mohammed. I spoke a lot.
Yeah, Momita, would you like to talk about some of the events that are coming up, and you have a big one as well?
Yes, so see, this is the reason I was telling that I'm just a volunteer and coordinator, just trying to get all these people coming together. So immediately
Mm,
we have ACP Inside Track on 27th April, and we might have another SIT, but that is under discussion, and some other organizer would be coming, so that everyone is getting chance to celebrate the community and the knowledge. And at the same time, in SAP we have different type of events. One is Stamptish, one is SIT, then there is another kind of event, so multiple categories are there. And based on the sponsorship audience, we keep on changing the format of it. And then coming back to the freshers level, right now we are talking to multiple colleges where we are trying to place and request SAP authors whenever they have few times or few hours or minutes, they can spend with the student and help them understand about the real time industry. Then mid level, from community side, we are pushing them that you need to upskill, and wherever you are stuck, let
Hmm.
us sit and talk. Because one of the thing, when SAP community started in Germany, their first motto was have an informal or formal gathering and discuss about the SAP products and their
Hmm.
improvement points and why they are the best, or is there any scope of improvement. So from mid level to senior level, we are focusing on that. And
Hmm.
then the people, they get to choose whether they want to upscale to AWS, SAP or the GDC or the JIRA or not. That should be
Hmm.
there out of will. And worldwide, 70 to 80% data is occupied by SAP. So no matter whichever community we are going to provide the solution, the data would be either directly or indirectly from SAP. So SAP is
Hmm.
the heart which is connecting all parts of the body. So that is
Hmm.
where actually we come into picture. And another thing is, which is very important to note, that SAP is encouraging startups. So right now we are having hackathon. So we have a senior, he is IBM CTO Debraj Bardhan. So he gave this unique idea of conducting a hackathon, so that the students who are really interested in the community, or who are
Hmm.
really having the best level knowledge, we can really promote our SAP AI solution Joule. So when this happened, the students are actually going and checking what is SAP Joule, because they
Hmm.
know about other communities AI products. So we need to promote our product as well. And SAP
Hmm.
is supporting the startup. They are saying, okay, if you are really good in BTP, low
Hmm.
code, no code, you build your solution using those products. We would fund you. We would promote
Hmm.
you. So in Google, in AWS, you will see multiple such startup, but in SAP, specifically in Kolkata, I do not see, or maybe I am not aware of it. I need to be aware of it. But right
Hmm.
now, the startups I have explored, they are like AI/ML solution provider using GCP, AWS. So I'm really hoping that someone would be coming with a startup
Hmm.
where he's promoting the SAP BTP low code, no code, and using those, if he is building a solution or she is building a solution, then they can reach out to SAP is startup incubator and get the funding from there. So if we talk about starting a business from out of the community, it should be based out of the knowledge business, not some other business levels. So and we have a multiple SAP champion. Arghadip is the best person who could explain who were SAP champions, who are SAP champions, and then they started their own ventures, and around the
Hmm.
world they are getting support from everyone. So it's
Hmm.
a huge opportunity for a person who wants to live, grow, and do something which would be, making a name in the community level. It's a long
Sure.
way journey, and you will have hiccups. We have our challenges, but there are people who are there to help you, guide you. So we are blessed from that point of view. So yes, we are all gearing up for 27th. You all are welcome, and
Hmm.
let's go for the best.
Wonderful. All the best for that as well. And for people who are interested in the SAP community in Kolkata, you can reach out to Arghadip and Moumita over LinkedIn. Follow their page. Their page is doing very, very well. It's growing every day. And we wish them all the best for their 27th April event. Coming to Ankit, AWS, what are some of the events that are in the pipeline and how can people get involved?
All right. If you look at the AWS users group Kolkata, right across the world, we have a 400 plus users group, and if you look at specifically the India, We have users groups running in 20 plus cities. And especially if you look at out Kolkata, right, we are one of the oldest users groups in India. So
Hmm.
we have very theme based events, right? So we do every month meetups,
Hmm.
either physical or online, right? So every month we do one sessions, and we ask the users comment what they want to hear, whether they want
Hmm.
to hear data, big data, analytics, and basis on their inputs, we reach out to the speakers and organize the session for them. So we ask the speakers locally from Kolkata and across globe also. So yesterday
Hmm.
only we had our April meetup, and a speaker had joined from Australia. So we try
Hmm.
to create a very diverse set of users as well as the speakers. If you look at
Hmm.
out our coming sessions, we have sessions planned for May month also, and we are planning for one of the bigger event this year, AWS Community Day, maybe in the month
Hmm.
of September or October. We are working backwards to do all set of preparations. So yeah, these are some of our plans, and I'd request everyone, right, those who are interested in AWS community, to join us
Yeah.
in these events to make it successful.
Definitely. Wonderful. You can also reach out to Ankit Kumar Gupta on LinkedIn. You can follow the AWS user group Kolkata as well for announcements of the upcoming events. No, and thank you, Ankit, and all the best for AWS Community Day. We'll be happy to socialize that event as well once you have more details. Coming to Nasirul from GDG Cloud, if you can share what are the upcoming events, major announcements, and how can people be a part of it?
Yes. So from JDG Cloud Kolkata, we have two upcoming events. So the first one is Build with AI. We are actually
Mhm.
planning that event, and we may host it like on the first week of May, and that
Mhm.
will be more catered to like AI specific things where like how you can use AI to build products or like projects for yourself. And the second one is a flagship event. We have it every year. So last year we had a footfall of around 3000 attendees. We did it at BBCC only.
Mhm.
And this year we are planning a different approach, so more than numbers we are looking more at like a hands-on type of event. So this is
Mhm.
planned for June, and we
Okay.
have started with the teasers and the basic coming soon announcements. So you can just follow our socials. It's all GDG Cloud Call across all the social medias, and for the all the updates which we will be sharing, and how you can be part of this event. And along with that, for GDG, the uh, Cloud Community Days, that is the flagship event, we will be hosting many small events across different colleges to have a more reach to the Kolkata folks. So
Mhm.
sometimes we cannot host everyone at a single event. So
Mhm.
we are planning some kind of like extended events where we will be like going over to colleges, different colleges, or like professional places, office spaces where we will be hosting these events, talking about different technologies, hosting some competitions, and then
Mhm.
having some giveaways, and then leaderboard kind of thing where you can
Mhm.
compete and then upskill yourself and learn from these. So we are trying to have the maximum reach. So
Wonderful.
this May and June month will be like lot of events from our sites, and everyone is free to join, whether you are a working professional or a student from first
Yeah.
year or fourth year. We have no bar. Everyone
Mhm.
and anyone can join our events.
Wonderful, Nazirul. Thanks for sharing that as well. And I think, I mean, I would definitely love to socialize all these events that all four of you spoke about through our page. Two reasons. The first one is obviously when such events are happening in Kolkata with significant participation, energy, and making an impact, I think that is great for the overall Kolkata ecosystem and the tech ecosystem in particular, because I think these communities, events, uh, the exposure that it brings to Kolkata as a city from you know speakers and guests all across India and the world, that such events are happening in Kolkata, seeing such large numbers, such participation, such interest from working professionals as well as students and universities, it shows our city in a great, better light and changes the perception that we are not growing, we are not changing. So that's one. Second is a very personal thing. If I get to attend these events, I will pick up some swags and goodies, which I saw Kolkata IT Hub pick up at Atlassian event. So I'm also quite greedy about those swags and goodie bags. So we'll definitely love to attend those events. But before we close, and this probably will do for 1 minute for everybody. Uh, you all have been managing these communities in Kolkata. Kolkata's perception has suffered over the last many years. It is still in question whether we really can be a tech hub for the world, an IT hub for the world, or even India. We push good stories along with our fellow pages, but we do get a lot of pessimism and negative feedback saying, "What is the point of doing all of this? There is no future for this city." Being at the heart of tech and deep tech, new age tech, with some of these wonderful companies, and having this Kolkata connection, what is your vision future vision for future for Kolkata? Maybe we can start with Arghadip and then we'll go around the room.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, nothing against other states or tech hubs. I think, to be honest, Calcutta has a big advantage, which is the cost of living. The cost of living
Mm.
is way low, and I think, and also we also bear this bad name where we are always being critics. Instead of being
Mhm.
critical, how can we help? That's the
Mm.
problem. I think let's celebrate the thing that is happening well, and just take those good things and move on with the other thing. Okay, I think people are too much critical. I'm just giving an example. Recently, means yesterday only, I was traveling to Puri, just for
Mm.
vacation, and then what happened is, I took the metro, and trust me, I have been to New York, I have been to Philadelphia, I have been to Switzerland, and all those places. I think the Swiss one was similar. The other places sucks, and
Mm.
anyone can come and say you are lying, but
I agree.
that is
Yeah.
completely true. And I think we need to celebrate the way the metro has been taking care of people, and the breeze you get, the cool breeze, whatever you are in this 47-48 degrees centigrade. When you enter the metro, it's like, oh, I'm hitting
Yeah.
Kailash or whatever, and it's really good. So let's concentrate on the good things, and just showcase those and attract new companies coming here. There are lots of
Yeah.
people, there are lots of infrastructure. Why you want to go to a place where it's completely saturated and you are having so much issues with, I don't want to name the places, water,
With water.
technology, electricity.
Of course.
Yeah, and all this means these are basic
Yeah.
amenities. Why a technology head needs to tell how to save water? That's not your business. That's
Mm.
the business of the infrastructure and all those things. So what is stopping us from inviting all those people and building them hub? And I think it's now time. Probably we need to tell them that probably we need first year's tax is free. Give like that, and then move
Sure.
on. Attract those people like this,
Mm.
because Calcutta was there and there's so much land, in those new town area. I can see so many companies can set up, and
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest, the cost of living is really low compared to other countries, other states. So I think there's huge opportunity. We just need to change our shift rather than complaining and whining about things. Just say,
Mm.
hey, these are good things, and just and what can you do to improve your own motherland? If your own
Sure.
mother is wearing a sari which is broken or which is torn apart, how can you make it good? You can buy a new
Mm-hmm.
sari, or you can mend it.
Mm.
Don't complain that my mom is just poor and she doesn't want to wear a sari, or she doesn't have the
Mm.
amenities.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, wonderful. Yeah. Echo your spirit and sentiments on this as well. Okay. Coming to Moumita, maybe you can also share and then we'll go around the room with Nasirullah and Ankit.
Okay, so the immediate vision and mission is to create more bloggers out of Kolkata. So that is creating the IPs out of Kolkata and telling the world that we have one of the best gray matters. Long-term vision is collaborating with all the communities which we have started and create collaborative blogs. Uh, and the third is when we are expanding we need more people engagement, so
Mhm.
we want to have more people. It is not that okay I am doing, I'd be very happy if someone else is taking initiative, I'd be very happy to go and contribute. Third is
Mhm.
community spirit should be alive, which is the knowledge and the networking and charitable model. If anyone wants to do business, we would be happy to support from the distance but not get
Mhm.
involved into that. Fourth thing is a very important one. We are inviting all the IT head and seniors, because let's say you have a service provider, he is giving best service to you, but do you know what is the latest in industry, are you getting the best service? So that is kind of knowledge sharing we want to do within the industry level.
Mhm.
And last not the least is, if I just hope that if we are growing like any other Silicon Valley, we don't get blind by the immediate money or glamour.
Mhm.
I just hope it is a sustainable growth so that we don't end up having the water scarcity or any other problem. It should be
Mhm.
organic and sustainable, and I speak a lot about sustainability, so I
Sure.
would really
Mhm.
love to see the growth in a sustainable way so that we have all the natural resources in proper way. And Kolkata is a city, if we start talking we might need multiple other podcasts, but at the end of the day
Mhm.
it's a feeling. If you really want to know us, you have to come and join and work with us, then you would really feel that. So looking forward to that kind of, positive initiative and future. Thank you.
Sure. Wonderful, Moumita. Uh, Ankit, Nasirul, one of you, let's go first, and maybe Nasirul, you can go.
Okay, so like as Arghadip and Moumita Di mentioned, so from my take will be here, like a hub is where you have a gathering. So
Mhm.
if you have a gathering of developers in Kolkata, it will automatically become a hub. And as the right mentioned, we have a very low cost living. Like you can have a breakfast at 20 rupees, lunch in 30 rupees. Like in 100 rupees, you can wrap up your 3 meals a day. And that too, like you can have a like a stomach full of meal, not like half
Mhm.
stomach or something. Maybe you can have your friend also. You'll get it in 150 rupees, two people. Yeah, having a full meal. So given that we have a lot of like opportunities here, even the traveling cost, living cost is very low compared to other cities. And working from here, what will happen, you'll have the local support, you'll have the local technical people, and
Mhm.
these we communities, we promote these events, you can come to these events, network with the folks, you can get a very like a good set of minds to work on your products or your business or whatever campaign you're working on. And those kind of you have the gray matter, you have the sustainable cost, you have the infrastructure also available. So it's just
Mhm.
that you need to just come here and start. So
Mhm.
once you start, it will automatically pick up pace and you'll have a very sustainable growth here. You don't have to worry much about the costing or infrastructure cost and those things. I have seen companies starting from a simple flat which costed a rent around 10,000 rupees, and they have gone way up from there. So
Yeah.
this is how you can build up in Kolkata. So you don't have to worry about capital much and those things. The
Mhm.
only catch is like you have to come here, you have to network with the local folks, you have to understand how the Kolkata people they work, and then we can tailor according to them, or they can tailor according to the needs of the company. That nag and hunger is always present here. You just need to start off from here.
Okay. Wonderful. Ankit.
Yeah, I agree to what other panelists have just mentioned. I just wanted to add to it, right? the Kolkata people are very friendly and they're very supportive in nature. And the way we have seen the Kolkata IT industry is changing, right? And number of companies has opened their new offices very
Mm.
recently, right? And this
Yeah.
has attracted the IT talent also. So people are coming from the various other cities to Kolkata, and even those who are born out of Kolkata and they have shifted earlier to different cities, they are coming back to their hometown, right? Because now they are seeing the opportunities in Kolkata. So the things has been changed, and I think let's work together to build a vibrant community within Kolkata to take Kolkata to the next level.
Wonderful. And I think as community leads, or as Moumita prefers, volunteers, I think the communities are doing great work to showcase the city in a positive light, and obviously working on cutting edge tech and making, I think, better professionals with better skill sets that are future ready. So many congratulations and thank you to all the communities that are working on this mission. May you continue to get more participation, have fantastic events that are coming up. We'll share a list of all the events that these communities are doing over the next couple of months, so that you can be part of either one of them or all of them. Go ahead and take a flavor of all the technology and solutions that they have to offer, and interact and network with some of the best minds in the city, in the country, even the world. So with that, thank you everybody for taking the time on a Sunday. Again, I keep saying this, taking the time, sharing your views, thoughts, and experiences with the communities that you're part of. Sincere gratitude to everybody for what the work that you are doing. And this is not something you're doing, and this is the most important thing. This is not something that you're doing for money. Not getting paid to do this. You're doing this because purely for the love of the company, the technology, and the professional community that you're a part of. So that's the best part about all of this, and we are very honored
And
to
for the
host
love
you.
of Kolkata also, Subit.
Absolutely,
We love
absolutely.
Kolkata. And we were doing it for the folks who are directly, indirectly connected to here so that they get world class level exposure.
Yeah, wonderful. So thank you so much for the work that you do. Please continue to do the good work, and we will be the biggest loudspeaker to talk about these positive developments through our page, Kolkata Calling. Thank you, everybody who joined us on a Sunday to listen to this episode. You can catch the recorded episode on Spotify, Amazon Music as well. With that, I will close the stream. And again, thank you, everybody. Nasirul, Moumita,
Thank
Ankit,
you.
Arghadip for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Have a
everyone.
great day. Bye.
Thank you.